Pizza Hut was very popular in the 12, 13, 14, 15, 2000 I'm talking about. Because we had the omnipresence, because we had hot pizzas being served, because we had everything. Domino's saw the opportunity in delivery. They have mastered the delivery. First mover advantage to build taste palette always has a longer life than a new guy saying, "Arey, mera behtar hai."
I'm curious to hear your take on diversity because, coming to it from the MBA angle. So, with most colleges in India, at least from my knowledge, we're seeing a dominance of engineers, or we're seeing a dominance of men, let's say, for example. So, with Masters Union, at least when we tried to create our cohort, we wanted a great mix of, let's say, people coming in from all backgrounds. So, we really feel that adds to the learning experience for the students as well. What do you feel about that same within the leadership or within the...
Well, I'm a great fan, and I know this for sure, that any restaurant of mine which is run by all women or a woman RGM, which we call it general manager, is run far better than otherwise. No offense to anybody. Huh? So we've seen that in happening, right? We have seen that in happening for reasons. So that's one way of looking at it. When we go to the leadership positions of our regional heads and area heads and the head of training and all of that, we constantly push the talent which is right for the position. So right people in right place is extremely important. Does not matter what gender they come from across in there. So there's a conscious effort also to bring in the ladies in our leadership position and evaluated, trained on the same level as such across in there. So we moved a good 30% plus on our diversity on ladies. In leadership positions, we are around about 18%. You look at our reports, you will see that there's a constant push, slow push to coming in. There are a lot of things which happens. For example, and I'll give you an example of one of the brightest lady I've ever worked with as a RGM, which is the restaurant general manager. They look at the restaurant day-to-day execution and all of that. Brightest. We had earmarked, we have our hypo programs, high potential programs. We measure them, we train them, and we keep them in our close to our bucket saying, these are the people who must focus on because we want to retain talent. When she was offered to move out of, which is called above store leader, one is leader, one's this thing. Once you get to the next level, you have a panoramic 6 to 8 to 10 stores, which you look after. If I may say so, the resistance she had from her family was incredible. No, we should know where you're going and where you're coming back from. That stereotype, I spoke to the person, to the husband, to the father-in-law and all of that, saying, listen, this is the same company, we are, and gave examples, asked our HR lady to speak to them and all that, but they were hell-bent not doing that. So to break that, it gets a little difficult.
100%.
One of the ladies who was there saying she's getting married and moving to another city. So that's where it happens. So we always tell, listen, if you are going to any city, you keep in touch. If we open that store there, I want you back there in that store across in there. If you are going there and if we have a position, even if we don't have a position, I will accommodate you there. Till the time we don't open a store across. But don't leave the career because it does not come easy. So these are a couple of stories which we create. With the focus we have on diversity, the focus on we have specially able stores to build, and be indebted to the society which is helping us to build all of this across.
Yeah, it's amazing. I think it's given the fact that there's a severe paucity of women in leadership positions, that figure of 18% to kind of go and push it above is...
It's going to be. It's going to be. That's my personal goal of 2025. We have our goal defined for leadership, in which ladies' percentage is there as engraved that we have to have that.
Interesting. So let me move to my more oddball, let's say, set of questions and ask you stuff that's not so business related. Perhaps just some more abstract stuff. So I'm curious to know, are you a fan of movies by any chance?
Huh?
Are you a fan of movies?
Or which movies are you talking about?
Bollywood or Hollywood or music in general?
Short movies I look at. I think what has happened right now, and I was talking to my wife, and I said this Netflix to Amazon to everything has taken the fun away of theatres. when you used to go to the theaters, you wanted to be enticed with larger than life movies, the plot, the whole experience of the popcorn sitting and all of that. What has happened that 1 gram of the brain which wanted all of this excitement is being fulfilled by this Netflix and Amazon and Hotstar across India. So people are not finding it, I don't know what you guys think, that let's go for a movie. It used to be a plan in our days. Let's go for a movie. Let's watch this movie. I mean, I have not even seen Pathaan for that matter. Everybody says you should. RRR I have seen actually.
Yeah.
That was close. But RRR also I saw in the house.
Not in the theaters.
Not in the theater across.
Interesting.
So I'm just saying.
But
yeah, I am
a semi-fan of movies.
Of a Bollywood movie,
Okay.
and especially I like certain Marvel stuff.
Great. So that's a good starting off.
Certainly, market. I see of whoever is asking me for my results is like a Thanos.
Nice.
No.
So my question is that if you have to have a pizza that's named on, let's say, a movie or a movie character,
Yeah.
what would it be, and what toppings would be on it?
I think I'll do Sholay.
Okay, the Sholay pizza.
Sholay pizza. Put the spicy hell out of it and close it. It's quite an interesting question. I can't do Pathaan on that, right?
I mean, so your call on what the toppings would represent.
Yeah, interesting. I never thought of this line, but I think I'll introduce one pizza, in that are offerings to the consumer. Nothing comes other than Sholay. I can't put DDLJ and make a heart shaped pizza, right? And put some berries and the syrup on top of it, and top with a loaf of ice cream and pass it on, right?
It's an innovation in the making, right?
Yeah, it's amazing.
So my second question is, let's say, what's the most non-traditional topping that you've tried on a pizza that you think that works?
Oh, that works.
That works.
Anything you put on pizza works, huh? Seriously. The only which I remember is the crispy ant protein.
Crispy ant protein.
Correct. So
Okay.
the fried ants which are put on this thing with the crispy thing, and you eat it. You cringe, but you eat it. In certain part of the world across it. That's the weirdest I've seen actually. I also cringed, but it was crunchy and nice. See, listen, pizza is like a roti which can be had with any dal and any vegetables for that matter. It's a matter of curry and a sauce on top of it across it. That's why it is commodity.
So it's more of a vehicle to transport food.
It's a vehicle to transport. Like a burger is also a vehicle to transport. What you put in that is what makes a burger work. Right? Either it's chicken or a fish or a veg or a zinger or whatever maybe you call it across India. So
It's cool because it gives the constraints to all the people who are making it to kind of innovate within that boundary
within
of
that property.
the
Because
buns, the 2 buns or anything.
You can't have 100 carriers in one operation. You have to have that and optimize that into different levels with sauces and the meats and the flavors within that. You can't have 20 kinds of buns. It's inventory, it's profitability, everything is an issue across India.
Interesting. And curious to know, there's a hot take on pineapple being a topping on pizza.
Yeah.
So out of here, how many people prefer pineapple? You can raise your hands on pizza.
India people love it, huh?
Clearly not this
Yeah.
demographic.
No, the Sri Lanka, you will be amazed. The highest selling pizza is their Hawaiian pizza. Highest selling Hawaiian, large size Hawaiian, which is chicken, spicy chicken and pineapple. But pineapple as a topping is just the most talked about, if I may use the word controversial also.
Yeah.
People don't, something, it can't be. It is not, it's fruit which is on top of it. I'm saying it's juicy fruit, it works. So, yeah. But if you are making it at home, I would recommend that you try it. It used to be this thing, but the consumer in India are not liking it much. So, that is one dream unfulfilled of mine. To have a Hawaiian pizza in India. But
Perhaps some Szechuan sauce will make it better.
Szechuan sauce, yeah. Correct.
But
Remind me never to hire you as a chef.
No. Okay, so moving on into say some more advice-driven stuff that I'd perhaps like for you to address the students with.
I should take that advice from them, right?
I mean, it's either way. I would say, quid pro quo. But say, let's say if you were 25, 26, 27 years old and going to business school, what advice would you give to someone who's at that age to kind of for their outlook in life?
I think the first question is, how old do you think I am?
I'm not good at these.
Just 1 year ahead of what you counted. Yeah. No, I think I'm happy to. In our generation, I've seen a floppy to cloud. Okay, that's the journey we've had. Right? If you look at the technology moving right now, from a floppy to cloud in the last 3 decades, right? We used to run around with floppies. They went away. Then disk came. Then pen drive came. Then all of that went away. And then cloud is coming. So all of that. So we've seen that. I think my professional advice would be to stay on top of the technology. I think whether it's AI, if half of us would probably understand less of it, but it's coming, right? I have seen changes in my own organization. When we introduced SAP, we were the first QSR in SAP to introduce SAP. We continued to build AI on that and all that. So as a professional skill level, this is my advice to you. Stay on top of your game with technology, right? And by technology, I don't mean be on social media for 24 hours. Putting Instagram reels is not so being on top of your game, right? To understand what ticks is the game. I'm sure you guys are teaching them and you guys would know. I think there are 2 competencies. One is functional competencies and one is leadership competencies. Functional competencies you will all get. 100 people will teach you. But I think if I were in your place and if I had to do something differently when I was of this age, I think the 3 words which will come to my mind, which I would abide by to be a greater leader as you grow this thing, right? Be courteous. Absolutely be courteous. Be confident without an attitude. And be courageous to take a risk. If you have these 3 qualities, and if you have the skill set which is provided by the union, I think you will have a great way ahead. Remember these 3 things. I think it's important for you. Always be courteous and humble to everybody. No matter where you're coming from, there is somebody bigger than you always there. Always have that humility in you. Be confident without the attitude. To put your point across, to have that logical sense of discussion, to have an understanding of the topic, and be courageous to take a risk, accept your mistake, and saying, oh, it taught me something. I'm all right. Let me just go on with that. So this is my 2 cents of mine, which I would.
No, I think it's great. Like the 3 C's. Even we like giving alliterations to our students.
3 C's.
Yeah, I think that's something that's there. But at this juncture, I'd like our students to be confident, courageous, and capable to ask perhaps questions. So let's open it up to you guys. We have a lot of questions coming in.
So I think every brand which wants to remain relevant and grow targets 18 to 40 ka bracket of age bracket. Now, it could be some with 25, some 40, but I'm saying 18 to 40. These are the people who has the money, who are working class, who are experimenting, who are open to innovation, who would eat pizza also for that matter, and eat whatever they want. They'll burn it off in their gyms and all of that. So you have to continue to be relevant in that. We were not relevant 3 years back. We went out of the whack. Our consumer moved from old people. When I went for my 20th birthday, there was a bell and there was a balloon and there was a dance of birthday and all of that. So we moved out. Today we are coming back to that segment. How? Exactly the way you mentioned. We are catering to the lower value proposition, which is 18, 19, 20 years or 15 onwards, starting there. We are giving the innovation which we are bringing in, the innovation pipeline for 18 months, say for 6 quarters. We are building and we are doing that across in there. All of things are right across in there. Who holds the pie? Who has got the deepest pocket? No matter how good you are, and this is a life lesson for everybody, unless and until you make a hue and a cry about it. For example, the D, which is a competition, has huge deep pockets, right? They're a 900-pound gorilla, right? They will punch 100 crores at one time, right? And they'll say, whole India covered. right? Other people don't have that right now. Does Pizza Hut has the right to exist? Oh, for sure. We are 700, 800, they are at 1700, 18. The gap of a second player being there. And I think it's important to understand the second player who has to be challenger to the first player has a bigger right to stay in the fight than the top dog. Because I'm chasing something, right? He is not chasing anybody. So I can run faster saying, "Arey, wahan jana hai mujhe." So from that perspective, I think they still hold the pie. They hold the pie in terms of the consumption. But who hold the pie for taste? That's Pizza Hut. We have remained true to taste. Today also, if I do brand traction, Pizza Hut to Domino's taste is far away from in consumers' mind. That the best tasting pizza at that price, not the gourmet pizzas of which are 450 piece pop, is still served by Pizza Hut. So we are holding what is the most valuable proposition for consumer, which is the taste, because that's why you eat food. You don't eat because it is cheap. You don't eat because it is made by somebody. You eat it because बंसल के छोले भटूरे अभी भी अच्छे लगते हैं. Not वो आज हल्दीराम के 300 रुपए का वो छोला भटूरा भी आप खाओगे. Correct? Because they are nice and good to eat. Pricing won't matter at that time. So we hold the pie on the taste. They hold the pie on the size. Hopefully we'll merge somewhere. Yeah.
Interesting.
I'll tell you personally first, then professionally I'll tell you. That's my personal view. I'll give you a history of, again, why I moved from hotels to QSR. If I can't take my kid to a QSR brand to eat food, I won't join that company. Because the truthfulness of the food is more important than anything else in the food, right? If you know, again, most of the brands, and I'm not going to name any, freezer to fryer, it's not fresh, right? I am not game for that. If you look at both our brands, KFC and Pizza Hut, we prepare our food fresh every day. Every day. It's not frozen. It's not frozen to fryer. Every day. We make dough in each location, 700 locations, every day. Fresh dough to make the pizza. That's where we hold the taste. That's where we hold that's my personal thing. KFC also, every day the chicken is prepared fresh and then served across. So that's one part of it. The second part of it is, we already have KFC. We have 100 KFC in Northern India. Right? 100 KFC is like, some of the brands are not even close to us. So we are well presented there. Do we have to take over their locations? First of all, they were not for sale.
Not location, in terms of the opportunity that the market has.
Oh, we have definitely captured it for sure. But I think there are two different kind of, different kind of market segments, right? We have young adults. KFC is a young adult brand where you have to eat protein. And as people start to earn more, the first protein which is eaten the most is chicken, right? Because that's the protein of the world. McD is still a kids focused brand and a value proposition of 1 patty, 2 patty, no whole meat, all minced meat, 1 patty, freezer to fryer, serve it to you across in there. So from that perspective, I'm saying the opportunity is already being exploited by KFC presence to people who did not know where to go after McD has gone away across in there. And that opportunity was never existent for us also in one way or the other. I can't divulge some rules of engagement which we can't divulge, but it was not offered to the public, anybody, to be taken who are already running QSR brands.
Fair enough. And out of the three that you currently have in your portfolio, which are you most bullish on? KFC, Taco Bell and Pizza Hut. Which one are you most bullish on?
So if I look at it, understand this, that the KFC has an entry barrier. Nobody can come in except for Popeye who's come in. They're also, they will take some time. They'll take 5, 7, 10 years to reach where KFC is. And then KFC also is going to run further 3, 4 years further up. So KFC will continue to bring in people, the money, the expansion and all of that across in there. So that's one part of growth. Where is the biggest upside? Upside, as I mentioned, 700 to 1700, market leader to a second in command. Upside is the highest in Pizza Hut. So you have to look at differently. Both the brands have a different categorization of it. And Taco Bell, we have our rights in Sri Lanka and Maldives, where we are expanding slowly across in there. But Taco Bell in India is owned by Dabur Group, and they have opened I think 100 stores now, and they continue to open. But I think they're yet to crack the business model. They haven't got the taste palette right. They haven't got the model right, in my opinion. So they are saying. So to answer your question in short, KFC continued to grow. Pizza Hut, biggest opportunity to surprise on the up. So this flavor fun which we're launching is basically to fight for that space. We were not playing in that space. Sub 100. Yeah, for Pizza Mania, we have flavor fun. So when you look at it, 30% of the business is coming from that bracket, and this is the assumption we have. And we were not present in that, right? We were not playing in that. We were already this thing. So we said sub 100. So in Indian consumer in QSR, sub 100 is a big price point. Bata rate 99.9 वो सब होता है. So we said, okay, do we want to go to 59, which is work for them? We will put 59 and then we'll be okay. But then we'll have to severely compromise our product because we don't believe in shortcuts when it comes to taste. So we said, no, let's look at 20 rupees higher. 20 rupees. Huh? You might think, अरे क्या है 20 rupees? कुछ भी नहीं है. But it matters to the person who's walking into that store. It matters. He decides, ये लूं कि वो लूं. And when you are right next to each other in malls, when you're right next to, he thinks, अरे यहाँ पे लूं, वहाँ पे लूं. It matters. But as I mentioned, we own the taste. You may own the price point, but people will come for taste. So that's what we are playing on across. The whole process is there, right? So first we will go to our vendors to develop a profile of this thing and present us. We have many VKLs, graphite and all that. They will present us tasty bites. They'll present us, these are the sauces we have, this is what we have, this is what we have. Then we look at which can be used in what product, in what combination. So we have a separate kitchen and a team of 4 chefs who just continue to do this only. Their job is this only. Once in 2 months we meet. That day I fast for 3 days before that because we eat 40, 50 bites of each, like, kinds of pizzas and starters and all of that. It's just crazy. After some time, your taste buds are gone. Like, kya kha raha bhai? So we have that. So they do their test first. Then they do a test with us, taste test. And then the same concept then is built into consumer proposition from a pricing, taste, so profile, and then tested in one small market. Whatever the results from there, and it runs for 3 to 4 weeks. Whatever runs there well, or it doesn't run, we do the changes. We're saying price increase ka problem hai, taste ka problem hai, execution ka problem hai. All of the changes we do, we keep on turning the knob till the time we see great fix. For example, I'll give you Pizza Hut doesn't have fries, right? And fries is contributing close to 10 to 15% of the menu mixes for many of the big brands. We said, why can't we have, right? Arey kaise hoga, kya hoga? Because most of it is fried. We don't have a fire. What do? All right, let's go to our suppliers. Let's see what they can do with our fries. So they're saying, okay, we can make it with this rice flour coating. We can make it a little crispier. All right. So we tested 25 samples, putting it through the oven. That's how it comes outside. And I'm telling you this process. It came out nice. Okay. Will it travel 20 minutes, 30 minutes to the consumer, or will it get soggy? We tested that. Once the product is fit for all channels, dine-in, takeaway, and delivery, then we do a test. We did a test in Gujarat. The test was to run for 4 weeks. The fries got over in the first week itself because it was so popular. So you have to shut the test down, and then you have to say, okay, we are ready to launch. So this is the whole process of where from a product development to market test to correction of it and then launching it countrywide is the whole process. It takes good 3 months. Oh, no problem. I'm here for the whole day. Don't worry. So I think the insight in that in consumers. So New York pizza is the pizza which we recently launched in States, right? It's a good 16-inch pizza, this big. Everybody's just crazy right now. They've gone crazy getting the sales from that. Single slice, right? How do you make it?
Big pizza.
That's the point. So again, I have all the apparatus. We tried it in one of the places where we have a hot case also to keep it hot and all that. We make a big pizza, we keep it there. We can keep it only for 45 minutes, right? I don't want to serve it after 45 minutes because it's rubbish after 45 minutes. Now, I can't comment on what goes from Lapinos to Subros and all that, but we did not see the velocity on that. It was getting more wasted than anything else, right? Now, if I say 100 rupees a pizza, 100 slice, if I'm giving a pizza for 100 bucks, I will have to give a slice for 50 bucks, I guess, or 25 bucks or 20 bucks. It's not a game I want to play at that level. It's too much of work and too much of risk and too much of wastage actually. Because wastage also is a very big component of our industry. So because there is no consumer offtake, we had stopped it. And we have now only complete pizzas. We have smaller size pizzas. Secondly, I think in India, people like to share food. No matter what you take. Now, वो एक pizza में चाहे वो दो करवा लेंगे, semiza, whatever they call it, there's something. But they still like to share that pizza. तो अपना स्लाइस ले मैं अपना लेता हूँ. कोविड के टाइम पे हुआ, डेफिनेटली हुआ. There was inside that everybody wants to have मेरा खाना मेरे को. I don't want to touch anything. But now people have come back to shareable eating assets. That's more fun. That's pizza. That's occasion for people. If I order 6 slices and you're watching IPL game, 6 of you can order differently. It'll not be that fun. When you open, all 6 of you kind of jump onto that. That's the insight. That's the fun of eating pizza.
Would you say that's the difference between Indian market and
नहीं आने दे कोई बात नहीं. बस क्यों बोल रहा हूँ? There could be insights. That's one of the insights I have, right? As I mentioned to you, Middle East, a 3-feet pizza. It doesn't work for us because the group size is hard, but their big families, eat that. So there are different market researches which happen and different consumer insights, and then hence they plan the product accordingly. That's true. If I tell you, I will put a Mercedes seat in a Maruti 800, and then you drive that. Lovely it will be. The comfort is not there. I agree. I mean, I'm just making a mockery of the question, but it's a very relevant question. And today, if you look at Flavor Fun, we have, because there is certain amount of people who want to have that cheap pizza. Okay, let me just put that way. Cheap pizza. Can I be as good as a mozzarella pizza? No, you won't be. Right? But then you have to make a conscious call. Ki, Baba, should I let go of the 30% market share or should I just fight and get some? But not to compromise on core of mine. Because I can't serve it at that level because my margin will be negative in that case. So I'll continue to focus and build on for people there, but I'll also work on it. Now, how do I make this more the core, which we call the mozzarella pizzas, more attractive to consumer? Is the game we have played for last 1.5 to 2 years. And how we have done it is a market strategy of making meals. There is a meal for one, which is my box, which comes with a small pizza, 2 garlic breads, and this thing. So that makes it within 200, 220 bucks. Oh, I'm happy to have that. There's a hut treat for 2, there's a hut treat for 4. That's the value laddering on core. You understand that the main pizza, which is tasty, which, as you mentioned, it's expensive as compared to our competition. But there is a reason for it to be expensive. And hence we are trying to get deals which are uniquely us, uniquely Pizza Hut. And they've done really well. We have 1+1 at 2 medium pizzas at 599 bucks, which is uniquely us. We have 1+1 at 299, which is again core pizzas, which is uniquely us. So to answer your question, do I want to reduce the price of cheese? Of course. How can I do it? I mean, I'll have to open a gaushala. and produce the cheese and all that. We can't do it otherwise as we speak. Do I want to compromise on taste and product? Absolutely not. Do I want to play in that lower rank? Yes. Let me play there. No problem with that. But that cohort of people are coming for price, but we will give them better taste in that price. No, so we'll play the long game always. We'll always continue to be focusing on when a parent tells the kid that, listen, I'll get you the best pizza in the town. That's the game I want to play. We're saying, I know this is safe to eat. I know this is tasty to eat. And even if it is $20 higher, no, it doesn't matter. What has happened right now is, see, the Pizza Hut was very popular in the 12, 13, 14, 15, 2000 I'm talking about. Because we had the omnipresence, because we had hot pizzas being served, because we had everything. Domino's saw the opportunity in delivery. They have mastered the delivery. I don't think so there is anybody as good as them. I can give it a writing. They are superbly brilliant in their marketing. But are they good in dine-in? No. Samir Ketrapal is an old friend who's heading the Domino's. The last call, if you look at an investor call, you will see that he's saying, I want to focus on our dine-in experience because it's not been good across in there. So I'm saying everybody plays for their strength. I want to play on two strengths, that I want to give you great pizzas at a great price and a great taste, which you will be comfortable in serving anybody with confidence. So not right with saying, acha lag raha aapko to kha lo. I'll give you an example of, again, a chocolate story. Hershey's. In Europe, so Hershey's is the biggest brand in the States for chocolates. Which was the biggest brand in Europe? Sorry, Cadbury. Sorry? Cadbury, correct. So Cadbury was big one, right? When this Hershey guy went to this thing and he tasted it and saying, "Arey, why don't you give me, this product? I'll take it to the States and I'll run it and I'll push it and all that." So these guys said, "Yeah, no problem." There is a certain amount, there is a process, burnt milk up to a level, then you make the Cadbury chocolate and then the Cadbury's is made. So they taught him the whole process except one step, right? Which is the burnt, which gives the taste of a burnt kind of a chocolate and all that. When the Hershey's went back to States, where the chocolate was not prevalent, he was trying to make Cadbury, but the Cadbury taste was not coming in. So he said, let me just do this only, which is a little subdued product in the taste, but let me just try it and do it and all that. So he started selling that. When Cadbury's came into States, people said, "Arey, Cadbury is not chocolate. Hershey's is the chocolate." You understand the game which is being played. So first mover's advantage to build taste palette always has a longer life than a new guy saying, "Arey, mera behtar hai." So that's the quandrum we are in right now to play that game across in there. So it's a very interesting piece that how a taste goes across there. Lastly, so listen, so it is, if 30% unchallenged category, second player, biggest player in the country, can I call out, okay, I can do better than you, right? To look at it saying, okay, can I gain some market share from that and actually make him fight? Because he can't take market share from me on the top one. I'm going to go out and do that. Can I be a leader in that? No. It will not be, because they have much more penetrated right now. But can I take a 10% market share and build my newer, new recruits? Of course, why not? Opportunity is there for me to catch it with better taste and a better price. No, so I will encourage you that you pick up our menu or download the app, and you will see the pricing of our medium offers. So typically, if you look at it, you will have around about 26-27% of food cost, right? And this is higher in compared to rupee value, because our pricing is higher, hence the percentage seems a little low. Then you look at it, we will be at around 10 to 12% of our cost of labor. Okay, our gross margins will be, as I mentioned to you, will be around about 75%, and our EBIT will come to around about 15-odd%. If you look at our reports, you will see that coming in the last 2-3 quarters. We were at negative EBIT 2 years back. at -8 and -7 and all that. Today we are at 15%, 14% to be very honest. Which is it the best? Not yet. Are we getting there? Of course. Have we made a move? 300% movement we have made in last 2 years. So we continue to chip away. These changes take time. We were the first brand we were laughed at when we introduced ice creams and in a delivery format. First QSR brand, you can order ice creams. I said, let's just do it. We got into HUL. They told them that I'll give your Cornetto range and the Magnums and all that, quality range, and we'll serve it with our food. People laughed at it. We made it happen. It's now, everybody's trying to do it now. But we're far ahead in doing that. So I'm saying, you slowly find a niche, capture that, find a niche, capture that, run for some market share, and it takes a little while to get there.
One last question I have.
No problem. As many as you want.
You've told me that college students are what you're trying to target with the value-based pricing in place.
No. This college student, no. You're paying enough. Who comes twice in 3 months.
But what is the persona like?
What is the persona in terms of anybody who's been 15 to 80 or 15 to 40 or 18 to 40 is my customer. I want him to be my customer, right? I have to target it to them, right? Anything, as I mentioned to you, that categorization of the segmentation of this age can be done even further, right? Who are only delivery guys, who are in dine-in guys, who come into the mall, what will they eat? So our marketing strategy, which is called a local store marketing, called proximity marketing, called trade area level marketing, is very different. And then there is the overall ATL, BTL market across in there. So there is various levers you can play on to capture that segmentation of 18 to 40 or 15 to 40, whatever you may look at. What is the most priced? These are all priced for me, okay? Because each one of them is a possible, possible customer for me in one of the channels. If I am looking at, I have to fight my battle on aggregators, or I have to build it. Now, how do I laddering my menu? What kind of deals I put in there? What lever I have in this thing? These are 3 different marketplaces, if you must understand this. Aggregators are a separate marketplace. Different kind of people come in. If you don't get a 50% discount up to 100, they will say, I'm not going to take it from you. You have to take it to 40 to 80. So that fight you have to have differently. In dine-in, meals have to be played because 2-3 of them are come, 2.6 to be precise, and they will order a meal for 4 and they will eat nicely, gut feel, happy, get out from there across in there. Our online ordering across in there, which is you have to have exclusive offers being. So you have to fight at each of the segmentations differently. Anybody who's carrying $100 should be able to order a Pizza Hut. That's my case. If you have $100, you walk into the store saying, "Yeah, ये रहा 100 रुपया, मेरे को एक pizza दे दो."
That's the most percentage of users for pizza.
That's not right now, but we are building that. Right? If I say, oh, person with $500, for sure he can come. But bare base level, I'm saying, if you have $100, walk into Pizza Hut, you'll get a pizza. That is what we are targeting right now. Because we already have loyalists who are using us 5 times a year, if you look at its CRM data. So I'm not worried about them. I have to build a little more loyalty to them. But these guys I want to bring in. That's what I'm focusing right now. I think, first of all, both of them come with a lot of backup, right? We can actually, see, the business is not always like this, right? It goes like this. And sometimes it's like this and sometimes it's like this, So you have to, ride the wave or the deep ends of the ocean to the tops of the hills. Some people would have the grit of doing it. Some people won't be able to sustain it, right? For example, if I talk about, and there are different models to work on, right? These are all big franchisee models who are running it, right? We have the money worthwhile that even if 2 quarters go down, we'll still be okay. We won't close 100 stores and we'll continue to be, doing the right thing. There are other stores which are all individual franchisee based, right? 400 stores, 400 franchisees are there, right? To control the behavior of 400, it is very difficult. All 400 will say, I am doing so much less sale, I don't want to do it, I want to cut cost, I want to do this, I don't want to go ahead, I want to save my skin right now. They don't have the grit to last longer. That is one benefit of the big brands. The second is consistency of experience to consumer over a long period of time, right? You go, you will find the same pizzas, same consumer experience, same app experience, same delivery experience across the 700 units of us. That might be doubtful for in places. I know certain brands says la, आगे तुम जोड़ लो. If I go to Gujarat, they are in every nook and corner, right? I've tasted around 4 to 5 times. I'm yet to taste the same pizza in the same stores across India. That's the game across India. So you have to have a grit to have a long-term plan and sustainability. You're not here for today. You're not here for 2 quarters. You're here to capture the market for the next 2 decades. So in Kerala, we were 11 stores. Today we are 30 stores. We have captured from top to bottom. Every small city you go, we will have the Pizza Hut. Why? Because we saw potential. Why? And I'm thinking you are from that part of the country, correct? And that's why I'm giving the example. See, everybody is exposed to the brand in Saudi, right? KFC to Pizza Hut and all of that. They are very well versed with the brand. And now, when they're coming back, it's the relevance to them, it's the relatability to them. They're immediately going in and taking and bringing that culture back to India also. So that is helping us across India to build that. So this, you can't do it with a local brand. This global input of best-in-class technology, of best-in-class products, or best-in-class practices, you can't get it from local brands. Hence, they will always be a little behind, unless until someone like me who's worked in the MSC and goes and chalo ye banayenge. From that perspective, so we have meetings where we share best practices. We share which product is working well in China, what is working in Australia. Can we look at it? We have tastings in there. And recently we had 4 days of best practices of technology, of building new properties and more efficiently from ESG perspective, from products which has worked across in there. Means everything. That cumulative knowledge always helps. Dunkin' Donuts failed in India. Yeah. That's the truth of it. And I understand. And this is again could be, you can say, you are a floppy boy, you're coming to cloud computing. I still believe, no matter how much we work, what we do, you can always take out half an hour for your nice sit-down lunch in your peace, have the mindfulness moment, and then go forward and doing what you want to do. In all of this hurry-burry, you must look at, listen, where is my time? Easier said than done. You will all be pushed. You will all be saying, aaj, kal, parso and all that. But it takes a whole culture change before people start to value that. I think it's an interesting thought to both of your credibility there. I think it's an interesting thought saying, listen, why hurry? Have a slice, right? Or sit down and enjoy your pizza. Unfortunately, I think as I mentioned, is it a part of a marketing calendar? No, but I think it's certainly a point to ponder upon, to look at. So thank you for the thought across in there. And Ludhiana is not a small town. I'm from Jalandhar, so it's smaller than that. So don't worry about that. Correct, no? Which part? Kottayam. Kottayam, we have 2 stores. Beautiful. They're doing very well. Pizza, very nice. I recently went to Kottayam also. So I did the whole thing by road, Thrissur and all of that. I mean, I keep going. It's one of the good, So roads are small, traffic speed is slow, but beautiful greenery country. It's a nice one. The good part of my job is that you can roam around in the whole country, right?
Which part of the country is your favorite?
Mine? Yeah. Where I stay. That's how it is. But I love southern India a lot. I've spent a lot of time in Hyderabad. I've spent in Tamil Nadu, in Bangalore. So it's a good place.
Awesome. Any final questions? Okay, go for it.
तेरे को पैसे दिए क्या इसमें? Right?
I didn't know.
AI is coming. All right. AI is coming in many ways, right? When you are looking at, when you swipe your card, there is a data going on, right? When you order, when you're looking at Instas, all data is going and preparing. So what does AI do? It identifies patterns and then it gives you possible patterns. It did not prepare you for uncertainties or innovation as such across in there. AI is coming to bring in efficiency, right? Now, my efficiency, now it depends whether I want to use it on a consumer interface through CRMs to nudge them to do whatever, or should I use it in my SCM delivery basis schedules, looking at my inventory levels, looking at my utilization of my people, utilization of Internet of Things, all of that. I think for me, in a highly interactive interface in the food business as such, AI would help me to reduce that and bring in my margins or use their facilities to build that business even stronger. I don't want to use it to predict a consumer behavior as of now, saying, Abhi aayega banana, because we already have a forecasting tool which we are using right now, which we are using for ample times. Can that be better? Probably yes. What data? But only point right now is how reliable is that data? That's the only piece as of now the world is going through. Once you have, but AI is coming, I'm telling you, there's no way to ignore it across in there. I think it will take another 4 quarters for people to say, my data is going to this AI, is giving me this pattern, it's deliverable, it's understood, I've got it there. At this moment, only IT guys understand, your data theek hai. But the other management, other thing is saying, okay, can we look at it differently? Can we understand it? Where is it giving us this? And I'll give you using AI for our growth also. Where should we put a new KFC or a new Pizza Hut in the whole country? Right? So we look at the data, we use many tools, and then we bring it. But still, we tell our teams of business development to go there, look at the site, understand it, and then give us the feedback. It can be always helpful. Will it replace the human touch in food industry? For sure not. But yes, it is coming. It will help me to build efficiency on the back of the house and our growth. And that's how I look at it right now. Oh, well, we'll see where it goes. We're sleeping, we're saying pizza, it'll come. No. One word answer, no. I think at this moment, we can go 20, 10, 5 minutes also, which is the Dunzos and all the world are doing it. But there is, I'm saying I can't prepare food in less than 15 minutes, right? Can I be an old haggard who will break down with the flood of people coming in rush time and all of that? But I have that. When I know when my peaks are, I can prepare my food and I can keep it ready for you, which is pre-cheese and this thing. And I can give you in 9 minutes, right? Why 9 minutes? 2 minutes to load toppings, 6 minutes in oven. Good food, this much minimum time it will take if you're in my restaurant. But if you're saying keep it ready, then you'll have to give me pre-order. So we have created those options across in there. Now, I am not serving bagel or a croissant or a muffin where I'm saying, abhi mere ko de do, abhi main khaunga, main jaunga, right? So I think the different categories of food. One is convenience and stimulating food. Second is indulgence and leisure food. These are two different categories. And people have to understand. कल को आप ये नहीं बोल सकते कि okay दाल मखनी और पराठा मेरे को फटाफट पैक करके भेज दे मेरे को. उसको भी 15-20 मिनट लगेंगे उसको. Because good food takes time. Yeah. So I'm not a great fan of जल्दी भेजो. ठीक है यार. क्या मतलब you've taken time to order, take time to eat also. No? That's where it is. No?
All right. I'd say if that's all with the questions, I'd like to thank Mr. Vohra for the last hour and a half that he spent with us. So could I get a round of applause, please?
Thank you.